In this video, we're going to see how to go from a daylight image to a nighttime image. And because we are going to change a few things in the PSB, I would say that the best way to start is to make a duplicate of the entire work. So we can go here, image, duplicate, and then we press OK. And we are going to get a copy of our file, and we're going just to save this as a night version. Okay, so save as, and save yourself, save the image, save the PSB, wherever you want, ready to work on the night version of it. So let's see together how to go from something like this to something like this. Okay, so let's start. This is going to take a while, but I want to show you exactly what to do to turn your image from day to night. Now, I duplicate my daylight image into a new PSB, and I wanted to say a few things before we start. Now, turning an image from day to night is not just a one adjustment process. Okay, so forget about going here and maybe, I don't know, using the color lookup in night from day. Okay, this is not what you need to do. This is not enough. Okay, even if this color lookup adjustment is your friend. Okay, because you can have many presets, and one of these is actually this night from day. Or the moonlight, if you want. They basically are very similar. Okay. Now, what is color lookup? Is nothing more than a curve. Okay. So if you want, you can use a curve. You can go down with the brightness. Now, I don't know how much, of course, and you can go down with red, and you can go down with green. So what you get in the end is something darker and slightly bluish. Okay, anyway, if you don't want to do this every time, so if you don't want to handle like with 3 different channels, and a color lookup is your friend, because it's something that works out of the box immediately. So you can bring it here, color lookup, change the look to night from day, and that's it. But actually, this is not enough. And it's not enough because every element in the scene works in a different way. Okay, so the best thing you can do is to search for a reference. And here we can see here on my personal folder, I have a reference of, this is a photo I took when I was in the Alps for the holidays. And as you can see, the sky is even if it's night or late evening, the sky is pretty bright. And then we have a bluish, overall color everywhere. Grass, is kind of an electric green. It was kind of saturated, okay, except for the trees. The street, so the gray values here, the gray colors, they are pretty bright anyway. And I can assure you that if you go for something even darker, trees close to you will get also black, and that's a common mistake. The common mistake would be to keep trees close to you pretty bright. So I would say brightness comes from light, and right now what's happening is basically like that. We have, let's say that we draw a planet. Okay, so this is of the planet. Okay, and sun is going low. Okay, and we are here. Okay, with our buildings, our trees, and stuff like that. And if the sun goes down, okay, the fact that the shape of the earth is covering it, and so we can see the sunlight, the last sunlight, only on things very high in the sky, like like this clouds here. And so even if the sky is bright from our point of view, things at the ground are pretty dark. Okay, so remember this. Of course, if we have some lights inside the buildings, those lights should, be like very bright and probably also burning, in the camera. I mean, they should be overexposed sometimes because the camera can't handle that so much difference in terms of exposure. Okay. Then we can have a little bit of fog, far away, of the same color of, this like bluish we have all around. And, that's it. So if we do everything here step by step, we could be able to work it out. Again, the color lookup thing is your friend, so we can use it over and over. So no problems in about that. Just don't put this color lookup over everything, and that's it, because it doesn't work like that. It's not enough. Okay, so let's see what to do now. The first thing I would do is to change the sky. So I will take this photo and I will bring it in, and then I will bring it down here in the sky folder. Okay, so I will take, okay, this is the image. I will make it big enough and then bring it down here. So it's sky folder. And we don't need the color lookup right now. So I'm just going to, find the right place for this. Okay, cool. I remember there's an effects here for the glow, so I'll take it off. Very good. So the sky is placed, and now we can go back on the finalization. Okay, so let's put the color lookup. I mean, we can use finalization or effects. Okay, let's stay in the effects. Let's do this. Okay, so now the problem is these color lookup, which takes everything and makes everything darker, should not operate on the sky. Okay, so we can make a group here and select everything but the sky. Okay, so this could be like, I don't know, we select the trees we select the background we have, and then we select the render. Here we go, and here we have a mask. Okay, for this new folder, and we apply the mask. And as you can see, it immediately works a lot better because now we are close to the reference. And what are we doing now? Now, you see, to simplify the file and to have less problems to think about in the first place, I normally take out the props. Okay, so now what I'm going to do for the moment is to hide the two bushes we have here. Okay, 1 and 2, so I can focus on other things. Okay, good. Now let's go back on, let's work because of the distance, okay, because of the object which are far away from us. So now I'm going to work on the background here. So here we go, this is the background picture, and I'm going for another color lookup, and of course I attach it to it, and I change the color lookup preset to, I mean, we can go from, a night from day, and then we can just go down a little bit with the opacity, as you can see. Or there's another one here which is called foggy night. Okay, and it basically just take everything and not just bring it down as brightness, but it also take the dark value and it slightly move it up. And so instead of having everything like very dark that goes to black, it never goes to black. It stops at dark blue. And this is perfect for everything we have far away because, okay, it should be black, but on top we have some fog, and so the fog should bring it up a little bit in terms of brightness. And so I believe that this is the right way of doing it. Okay. Normally what I do for, just as a test to see if it works better, okay, I change this normal to lighten. Okay. And sometimes it works if the original content is already too dark. Okay. Now in this case it doesn't work, so I keep it normal and I go slightly down with the opacity. And you may want to probably get a little bit also brighter and more kind of monotone. There's too many informations here probably. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a curve just below this you know color cap, and I go up a little bit with this value here with the blue, with the dark values. And as you can see, everything becomes a little bit more bright. And I do the same with the white tones, with the white values. And if you keep doing this, the image will lose a little bit of contrast, which is nice. Okay. Either way, we can go back, any moment in here, because maybe, I don't know, we can do the same effects we have down there. So basically, when an object is very far away, it gets this blue color on top that covers a lot of details actually. Okay, so anyway, I'm happy with the result right now. And maybe, I don't know, just because we are here, we can add a layer, attach the layer, the empty layer on top of here. And then with the brush, we take one of these colors here. It should be just a simple, very soft brush, low opacity. Okay, if you want, you can zoom in a little bit this time, and you can start painting. Okay, with this color here. Maybe I take a color too dark. You see, this is the idea. All right, this is the idea. And of course this is now too much, and I will go down a little bit with these effects. I can see a little bit of fringe around this image, but I can tell that probably is going away when we merge everything together. Okay, because it's just an approximation by the algorithm that show you the image when you scale down, when it's at not at 100% of the scale. Okay, but anyway, I like the result down there, and I keep working on this tree now. This tree should be pretty dark. Okay, pretty dark. And so I put another color lookup attached to that tree, and then pick night from day again. And for the background one is working, I press Alt and drag, so I make a copy of it and attach again, pressing Alt again. Okay, so now I like it. I like this very much. I like this contrast. Okay, things close to us should be really contrasted. Okay, so it's okay to have a little bit of fog, a little bit of I would say gray values there, but close to us, everything should be very, very dark and contrasted during night. Okay, especially here in the grass, we are going to work that out very soon. So now I'm going to keep this color lookup preset a little bit less, than just 100%, maybe just like 90%. Okay. And one other thing I would try to do is to put a hue saturation on top of this and saturate a little bit, just a test, okay, to see how it works. And if we can see a little bit of bluish, no, the yellow at the base is still too strong. So now I'm going for a crazy idea. Okay, I'm going for a colorize. Now the colorize effect should be avoided almost every time. Okay, but actually at night it makes a little bit of sense, because everything kind of take this bluish overall color. So the only thing I mean, remember, don't keep it 100%. Don't keep it 100%, because even if it's night, there should be some differences in colors. And if you keep colorized 100%, then it's the same blue everywhere. Okay, so just go down a little bit with the opacity. Okay, And now we have this tree is, pretty bluish, but you know, not completely blue, right? So we can see before and after, and I'm pretty happy with the result. It's up to you. I mean, the percentage of, a bit the opacity amount, it's up to you. You decide. I will go with something like this. Maybe at the end I will change. I don't know. Let's see. All right. Now, grass in front of the building. Okay, grass in front of the building. So let's close this background folder. Let's close the FX folder, and let's go into the props folder, because here we have the grass. Okay, and now the problem is with this grass. Okay, with this grass, the thing is, here we have some sunlight touching it, and it's okay, because we can turn that sunlight into moonlight. Okay, because even moon reflects a little bit of light coming from the sun, but this is too strong. All right, this is too strong, too yellow, and we should have something more kind of green, electric green. And so what I'm trying to do here, first of all, is to take these areas and make it darker, slightly darker. So I take the end tool here, and I go on top of these areas, and I just bring down here, you see, like this. And I don't need to do this on the dark areas, you see. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to uniform a little bit this this whole thing, all right? And it's not that easy, and it could brings you to very weird result. As you can see here, you see is like a very weird colors, I would say. I mean, this is not easy at all. It's a little bit of, you see, trial and error, and sometimes you maybe lose some informations, but at the end you don't care. Okay, because then on top of this, maybe, I don't know, if you want to bring everything back to like this electric green, you put a hue saturation on top here, and then again, you can go for a colorize, and you can go for a very electric green like this, you see. And then maybe we can try to go down with the opacity of this to match a little bit, to have like a medium effect, like an average between the two, between the blue, sorry, the green result here and the original one. Okay, so I mean, again, you can try different things. Oh, I like this one. I like this one very much. I feel like it's working pretty well. Okay, and again, you can just go down with the opacity with this effect, right? And then you can have another one, and keep trying, keep working. Okay, I don't know, let me say, let's add another hue saturation this time, just to keep it, the saturation, just to go down with the saturation. I'm not using colorize this time. I'm just go down with the saturation. You see, now it looks like everything is matched together. It's kind of night. There is no sunlight, nothing at all. This is just like a very, very weak moonlight. Now, one thing that really bothers me is this gray concrete wall. And I know it's because I work on it while I was in the daylight image. So I go back in the adjustment, and I know that I have a folder here with the concrete wall. So I open the folder, and I immediately try with the color lookup. Okay, I don't care about mask because the main mask is in here. Okay, so night from day. Okay, a lot better, a lot better. And of course here, I don't know, probably is worth to keep it off from the interior wall. So I'm just going to paint a little bit of black in the mask of this color lookup, because I don't want this effect here inside. Okay, spoiler, we're going back to the old lighting just inside the building. Okay, so it's okay to delete this effect from the inside. Okay, now one thing that really bothers me is the swimming pool is too bright. If you don't have any light inside the swimming pool should be like pitch black. So I'm going for the reflection of it. Okay, and or we can have a mask. I don't know. It's up to you. And we can make it make it darker, okay, with a curve, or with just I don't know, another color lookup. You see, in the moment you make it pitch black, it works, um, out of the box. Now, what about the inside? What about the lighting? I would say that now that I look at the image again, I would say that probably in the end, here in the front, I would go down with the brightness. Okay, so I will keep this first foreground pretty pitch black, very dark, because I need to, match the darkness of this tree after the building, under, behind the building. And so anyway, let's go back with the props now, okay? Because we are pretty happy with the result till this moment. So I go back with the bush, okay? So this is the top bush, and I'm going inside. And this time I'm going for a color lookup, and of course you can try the night from day, but this would be probably too strong. The bush is already dark, so I will try with foggy night, and this works a little bit better, even if, I mean, it's not the perfect, test. Probably, I don't know, maybe moonlight, and go down a little bit with the, opacity. Let's say that this now, the grass is with the colorize has a different result. So we can go with the illustration on top here, and try the colorize too on the bush, and take the same color, same saturation, right? Same saturation. We don't touch the brightness, is not the right thing to do, of course. But I'm going down with the opacity of this colorize, because now this is too blue. Okay, I want some old differences about colors, and this is it. I like this, and we can now turn on the bush in the back. So it's inside the background. Here we go. You see, it's still too bright, and I do the same. So I will go with this one. I will go just with a color lookup, attached to the bush itself, night from day, and it works pretty well. I'm going down with the opacity a little bit, and we are done. Okay, again, here, I don't know, if you want, you can go back and add another curve or illustration. All right, colorize, down with the opacity, and now it's a little bit of blue color over it. Now let's work on the interior. What to do? The trick is pretty simple. Unfortunately, when you work with an image that was created in a day, lighting, and then you want to turn this into night lighting, I would say that the problem is that on top now we have an effects, which is a color lookup. And so if you want to paint some light now, you should do that over the top of this color lookup. The problem is those lights are not on the top of this, they are at the bottom. Okay, so what to do? Let's just delete this color lookup where we don't need it. Okay, so long story short, we are going to make a selection now here and paint just with a black color to reveal back some of the light that we had in the original image. So how can we do that in a decent way, I would say? Let's go and select the color lookup layer. We have a mask here, which is completely white, which means the layer is actually working everywhere. And then we go to the channels and we look for the mask of the glasses. And if you remember, we have it here. So I take the selection, I control click. So I load the selection, I go back here, and with the brush, soft brush, 100% opacity, black color, I start to reveal, the inside of my building. Okay. And I can do this in different ways. I can just click at the bottom to keep the top part of the, I would say, ceiling a little bit darker. That's one way. Or I can just do this and that's it. Now remember one thing: glasses are very reflective if we have more light on our side than the inner side, and this time is completely the opposite. This time we have more light inside, and so glasses should be less strong. So let's go back on the adjustment. Okay, let's search for the glasses. Here we go. And let's go down with the opacity of this layer a little bit. Okay, not too much, not completely off, I would say, but just a little bit. Okay. And as you can see now, we have a problem with this bush. We painted a little bit of, the color cap away from the bush. That's not great. So I'm going to fix this. The easiest way, the quickest way is it's not the best way. Okay. The best way should be to bring this bush on top of everything and works on the bush by itself. But I don't want to spend time. I'm not going to move that bush anyway. So I'm going to select the bush shape, and I'm going to paint the color lookup white where I have the bush. And now it works again nicely. Okay, so now we have the interior, which is lighten up. What can we do? We can, of course, start adding an empty layer in screen mode. And if you want, you can do this. Okay, you can just pick a yellow color, go down with the opacity, and you can go like a little bit by hand in increasing the strength of the, a little bit of glow, a little bit of bloom here and there. Okay, or you can go with select color range and select only the bright areas of the image, and then make Ctrl J, bring those information to another layer, and work with the screen mode. As you see, same example you can see in the video about the bloom effect. Okay. Now another thing you can do here is to add another layer and fill it black, and then put this into color dodge. And in this way, you can just increase the exposure of your interior. But now this is again something you can do, selecting the mask and painting away like way more I would say easier, because you don't have to take care of the borders. Okay, and the thing is, if you look at photos, when these happens, the inside is pretty like overexposed. But how can we handle this thing in a decent way? Okay, how can we handle this in a proper way? We can just put on top of everything, use saturation, and bring the saturation down to -100, and we can immediately understand if we are overdoing any effects, or we can go with that. So because we just look at the values, and the values on the inside should be pretty strong. So I select again the mask of the interior, and then I use a curve this time, just because I want to make the interior a little bit brighter, or maybe just a little bit more contrasted, you see. So I take like this point here, this, and then I bring up these values. And if it looks nice here, I can just hide the use duration, and it should look nice even here. Now it's a little bit weird that we have this light very strong on the inside but not on the wall here. Some light should transfer outside. So if you want, you can even go back here in the color lookup, select the wall here. So let's open adjustment, Control click on the concrete wall, and then again with the black color we can slightly get a little bit of the light outside, which is very nice. As you can see, again we have the bush problem, and so we can just go back on the bush here and select the shape of it, and paint it black in the color lookup. I know this is not, I told you, this is not the clever way of doing it, because every time you touch, you know, this mask, you need to go and fix the bush. Then the smart way should be to bring the bush on top. But now I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to, you know, overload you of informations. Okay. So now this is it. And to stop with this, to, you know, finalize this, I would say we can make a layer of everything. Select color range, pick value here, bright values here. Okay. I increase the fuzziness a little bit, you see, like this. So I have the interior selected, I press OK. Ctrl J. Oops, I did the wrong selection, you see, it's wrong selection. Actually, you know, it's not that easy to understand what you are selecting. So I try with, you know, sorry, I had to deselect first. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Okay, this is it. And now I Ctrl J to make a copy of it. Smart object if you want. And then, you know, screen mode, filter, blur. Field blur is the best because you can choose each part how much to blur them. Okay. Blur, Gaussian blur. This time we're going with this. Just a little bit, not too much. And then we can go down with the opacity of this layer. Okay. And this is it. I mean, if you want, we can just fix this tree here at the back. So I'm going, where is my tree? Here. Tree's background, here we go. I will probably go up a little bit with the brightness. Yeah, it was too dark. This is better. This is better. This is better. A little bit of brightness even in this one. So you just take the dark value and I bring it up. Okay, just to avoid completely black values. And then I'm going on top. And I can have a curve, bring down the midpoint here, and then invert the result. And with the white brush, maybe I can go a little bit further away. I will just paint a little bit of, you know, very dark foreground here, because it's very, very close to the camera. It's completely shadow and makes sense to make something like this. Okay. I don't like this fog here in the back. It's too strong. So I go back in here and turn this off a little bit. If you have the Z-depth and if you have a real three-dimensional trees, it would be a lot better. I will show you in another video how to paint, how to work with with fog. Okay. So this is it, guys. And now you have a little bit of informations about how to handle, you know, how to work from a day scene to a night scene.